Hi, I'm Andrew, and I'm here with Kate Salisbury from the Connecticut Science Center. And Kate, what do you have for us today?
So I brought you some really interesting objects, and the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and take a look at those and make some observations. What do you notice about those two objects?
Sure. Well, they're two squares. They're the same color. They're both black. They appear to be the same size.
Any observations about how thick they are?
Yeah, they look to be the same thickness. I really can't tell them apart.
So it seems like maybe they're identical, right?
It sure does,
possible. But to test, to really understand whether or not these things are in fact identical, as scientists, we have to do some tests that maybe take us beyond our initial observations.
Okay.
So in this cooler, you're going to find the next material that we're going to need to be able to test these to learn a little bit more about them. Any thoughts about what might be in that cooler?
Is a snake?
We'll find out. Go ahead and open it up.
I'm scared. Oh, ice cubes.
Not a snake.
Not a snake.
No.
No, good.
So what I want you to do with those ice cubes is go ahead and pull two out.
Okay.
And what you are going to do with those two is at the same exact moment, go ahead and take those and put them on each of our blocks.
Sounds good. Here we go. All right.
All right, so we have our ice cubes on our block. Go ahead and maybe start making some new notices.
So it seems like this one right here is really melting fast and spinning around. It's doing a little dance for us. And this one over here is just kind of sitting there. It's not doing anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, any thoughts about maybe what you're finding as you look at these two ice cubes? Any questions or thoughts that you're thinking?
Yeah, well, I think because the blocks seem to be identical, I can't see any difference there. Maybe it's something that I can't see.
So it's possible that it's something you can't see. Well, let's add another sense in there and maybe go ahead and take two fingers and touch each block and see what you notice.
Sure. Oh yeah.
What do you notice?
Yeah, this one is metal and this one is some sort of plastic.
So they're made of different materials. Any difference in the temperature?
Yeah, this one, the metal one, feels really cold and the plastic one does not.
Oh, interesting. So our metal one is melting our ice cube, but it feels really cold. That's kind of curious.
It is.
So let's talk a little bit about these materials and maybe what they're doing kind of in the unseen world, in the places that we can't see.
Sure.
So this block is, you were right, is made of metal, and it does feel very, very cold. But what do you think is going on with the heat that was in this block?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it is very cold, so it feels like it's giving off cold, but I don't think that's right. So is it something to do with its giving off the heat? Giving off its own heat,
you got it. So what's happening here is this block, this metal block, is a really good conductor. Have you heard of a conductor before? Yeah,
the conductors in orchestras. There's conductors on trains.
Of course,
right?
Always.
Yeah.
So you can kind of think of this conductor as the conductor that moves heat. Right?
Okay.
So conductors of trains move trains. Conductors of heat are really good at moving heat from one place to another.
Okay.
So this is a conductor, right? It's sharing its heat with this ice cube. It's giving its heat away really easily. And this one, which is still doing not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's just kind of sitting there.
Is actually something that we call an insulator. Have you heard of an insulator before?
Sure, I have insulation in my house.
Yeah, what's that do for you?
It keeps me warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
Yeah, it keeps that temperature, whatever that temperature is, right where it is.
Right, okay.
So we have two different types of blocks that do two different things, and this is something you can actually test at your house.
I don't have these blocks at home though, Kate.
Yeah, that's true. You might not have these identical blocks, but there are lots of different ways that you can test out these two ideas. You can test for an insulator or a conductor.
Okay.
So do you have any packing insulation or packing foam?
Sure.
Any wood laying around your house?
Yeah.
Maybe go into your bathroom and steal a tile off the wall?
Just rip it right off the wall.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
But anything that you have in your house, your countertop, your plates, your napkins, anything that you have, you can go ahead and try this to see whether or not it's a good insulator or conductor. One of the things that you want to do to make your experiment incredibly scientific is to make sure that you grab a timer and go ahead and time how long it takes for each thing to melt. And you can start to get an idea of what things are good conductors and what things are good insulators.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and if you try this at home, please hashtag Science at Play and check us out at ctsciencecenter.org. And if you do time it, send us your data. We'd love to see it. And thanks a lot, Kate.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it in.
Thanks for having me.
Right. Bye, guys.
If you are enjoying this activity, please support the Connecticut Science Center by making a donation.